Will hypnotherapy help with anxiety? Yes, but not for the reasons that you think. Most people are trying to fix anxiety in the wrong place. They stay too focused on the conscious mind when anxiety really lives in the subconscious. Anxiety is not something that you think, it's something that you run. It is a pattern, an automatic response, something that happens even before you realize that it's happening. And if you try to think your way into how to fix it, you will always feel like you're managing it instead of eradicating it and eliminating it. Anxiety, what it really is not feeling in control of the present. Two types of anxiety. One that I call vanilla anxiety, lack of control, and then control anxiety. It's way too much control, almost like a perfectionism or OCPD. Both are control problems. Anxiety at its core is simple. It's a feeling of not feeling in control of the now. That's vanilla anxiety. But control anxiety is actually more dangerous. This is where you try to control everything, every detail, every outcome, every variable. Perfectionism, overthinking, and OCPD tendencies. And here's the thing, both people can feel anxious. Both can feel anxious. One person can feel anxious because they don't feel in control, and the other one can feel anxious because they're trying to control too much. Same problem, different expression. So why is anxiety hard to remove? It's stored in your subconscious. It runs automatically. It has been reinforced over time. It has secondary gains. Anxiety is hard to remove because it's not just a thought. It's a trained response. Your brain learned it, practiced it, reinforced it, and now it runs on autopilot. But here's the thing, part of you actually benefits from anxiety. That's what we call secondary gains. Now with secondary gains, it usually comes with avoidance of responsibility, avoidance of risk, failure, sense of identity. This is just who I am, that excuse. Control illusion, an illusion that you're really in control of things you cannot control. Protection from uncertainty, and sometimes even an escape from boredom. Yeah, you heard me right. Boredom. Being bored. Yeah, let's go there. Because this is where people get defensive. Anxiety protects you. Did you know that? It gives you an excuse not to act. It gives you a reason to stay small. And it gives you a way to avoid risk. If you're anxious, you don't have to fully show up, do you? And for control anxiety, it gives you the illusion that if you just think harder, plan better, control more, you'll finally feel safe. But you don't, because control isn't safety. Now, humans are wired for challenge. You can fight me on that if you want. When anxiety is gone, boredom shows up. Yeah, it's not over. There's always an emotion that you're conquering. That's called being human. People unconsciously recreate anxiety. Here's the thing that no one talks about usually. When you remove anxiety, you're left with space now. And most people do not know what to do with that space. So what happens? They go back. They recreate the anxiety. Why? Because at least anxiety feels familiar. It feels like movement. It feels like something is happening. And boredom feels like nothing. And humans hate nothing. So how does hypnotherapy actually work for anxiety? It works at a subconscious level. It targets thoughts, emotions, and behavior. With hypnotherapy, you can use regression to find the root cause of the anxiety for you. Everyone's different. And then we move to emotional regulation, safety, love, worth. And then we move over to progression. This is detaching from the anxiety in a healthy manner. This is why hypnotherapy goes a long way compared to the other modalities. We're not just talking about coping. We're talking about rewiring. Through cognitive hypnotherapy, we address the dimensions of thoughts, emotions, and behavior. First, we go backwards. Regression therapy. This is age regression I'm talking about. Going back to earlier times where you felt that way at certain ages. Not all of them, just some of them. And we identify what's called the initial synthesizing event, where the pattern started. The subsequent synthesizing events are the ones that come after that initial synthesizing event. Then we regulate the emotional state, feeling safe, secure, loved, lovable, and good enough on your own. Not codepending on another person, on your own, which is very difficult to achieve with just traditional counseling and psychotherapy, if I'm being honest. And only after that, we move forward. Then the progression therapy, when it kicks in, is letting go of the anxiety, detaching from it. A lot of times, it brings us benefit, remember? We try to control the things that we cannot control, just to try to regulate. We can't control what we can control. We can only control what we can control. So detaching from it means that we're not just managing it, we're releasing it. So the real solution, control what you can, let go of what you cannot control. This is easier said than done, isn't it? We also emphasize on structured behavior, what I call the sacrificial and compensational behavioral goals, or SCBGs. This is delaying gratification, emotional regulation, and even sleep hygiene included in it. And then finally, monotasking over multitasking. Humans are incapable of concentrating on many things all at once. That is why trying to multitask is a waste of time a waste of energy. And your energy is connected to your health. If you don't have your health, what do you have? Tell me. So the solution is simple, but not easy. Not easy, but simple. Control what you can. Let go of what you cannot. Concentrate on one thing at a time. That's why you need structure. That's why you need time management. That's why you need to focus on one thing at a time and write it down so that your ruminations are not interrupting what you're doing in present tense. This is easier said than done because we have cell phones and we have a million things trying to get our attention. And we've gotten accustomed to that because the neurobiochemistry of the brain gets used to whatever you repeat, whatever you rehearse, either for good or bad. Because at the end of the day, anxiety thrives in chaos and it dies in structure. Let me say that again. And it dies in structure. If you already know what to expect and how you make it through, what will intimidate you? Tell me. That's why anxiety at the end of the day eradicates when you have that type of mindset and structure and algorithm going for you. So now to close, if you've been dealing with anxiety for years and it keeps coming back, it's not because you're broken. It's because you've been working at the wrong level. If you're actually ready to resolve it, not manage it, then hypnotherapy might be the move. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe. Any comments that you have, what has anxiety done in your life? How hard has it been? Or has it been easy to overcome? Write them down. I want to see what you have to say. I will see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.